Good morning and welcome to Nuel-Green ICT. So today I'll be taking you guys through on how you can deploy your Django API or website if you are using Django MVT, but here I'm using Django REST framework. So I'll be deploying using DigitalOcean Droplet. So the prerequisites, if you already have a DigitalOcean account, then you don't have a problem. But if you don't have one, to create a DigitalOcean account. But before you do that, you need a dollar card to create the DigitalOcean account. So in the credit card, you must have at least $5 inside that. DigitalOcean is going to debit to make sure that the card works, but they will refund the money to you after 5 days because they'll be giving you a free $200 credit to be used within the first 60 days of using DigitalOcean. All right, let's dive into it. So I have my DigitalOcean logged in here. So I renamed this project. I can create a new project, but I named this project to be See Somebody's because it's the name of the project that I'll be working with. All right, let me create the droplet. I'll use password and I'll name the project Amari. All right, that's all we need to do. We create it. We wait for it to finish. Now our droplet is created already. Let's go into the droplets. I'll power up the console through the DigitalOcean. Even though later on I will switch to using the SSH in my code terminal, right? So that I'll be able to migrate things easily. All right. I'll be using SSH in this terminal to connect to the server. All right. Okay, guys, let's get into the next stage of the deployment. Okay, I want to use SSH to access a droplet like the Ubuntu server I created on DigitalOcean. All right, I'll copy the IP address SSH root at I'll paste the IP address. Then I'll enter the password. Okay, I'm connected. Now you need to create a new user. All right, you need to create a new user and make it a sudo user. I'll create a new user. I already created a new user called Caliban, but for the sake of the video, I'll create another user so that you see how it is done. Sudo and user. Alright, call it whatever you want. Call it Sammy. Enter password. Enter password again. I'll leave this blank. Yes. Okay. This user has been added to the user group. Alright. So we'll use a command to make it a sudo user. I'll still delete the user. Okay. Here is it. Here's the command. Sudo user access. Sudo user mod. That's user modify. -ag sudo sami. Now sami has the root access to use sudo service. Alright, I've clear. Now let's shoot into Caliban because I'll be using Caliban to work, not the sami that I created. Sami was just for sample. Alright, so I'll create a virtual environment here. Python. No, before that, go using the droplet. Before that, using you need to install some things. Alright, I'll add this link, the link to DigitalOcean instructions on how to, deploy DigitalOcean Droplet, Postgres, Nginx, and Gunicorn on Ubuntu. Right, so install these dependencies. I'll add the link so you can copy it. Paste. Enter my password and it will install the dependencies, the modules. Yeah. Wait for it to finish installing. Clear. Alright. We create a virtual environment here. Create a virtual environment with Python 3. Right. This is Ubuntu, so use Python 3 dash env. I named this env is supposed to be the name of the folder that holds the virtual environment variables. Alright. Okay, it is created. Let's confirm. It is there. We activate env slash in slash activate. This to activate the virtual environment, and the virtual environment is activated. I need to clone the Git repository that I want to deploy. I'll clone it. Git clone. To ask for access token. Here's my GitHub access token. Okay, the new project is created, and then cd equal backend. Alright, ls. So we have the files in there. So we need to install the requirements, right? Pip install requirement.txt. Okay. Wait for the dependencies to finish installing. Okay, it is done. I want to confirm that the project can run server. Okay, guys, I fixed the problem with the packages installation. So let me run the server and see if it runs. Python 3 image SPY runs. The server actually runs. The server runs. Okay. So what next? What next? I've done this already. Stay FW allow port 8000 to allow connection to the port of 8000. Okay, I've done this already, and my project actually runs. Okay, so let's do this. See if Gunicorn is actually running. Okay, I'll cd out of we installed the Gunicorn in the base directory, not inside the project itself. So I'll cd out of there and okay, whichever fold to put. Okay, I made a mistake. I was supposed to change. Supposed to give it e e-commerce backend core Twisky. Still did not work. Shit, e-commerce backend. Okay, cool. Okay, you see, it's working. The reason is this, I had to enter into the project directory where the core is. The core is the folder that holds my settings. cd core ls. You see, it holds the whiskey file and the settings.py. So that is it's working. Let's deactivate. Okay, clear the console. Alright, the next step, let's create a Gunicorn socket. Sudo nano etc. Sudo nano etc system d system slash Gunicorn.socket. Okay, I'll go there and copy this, and then paste it. Control O. Let's see if there's anything else we need to put there. Gunicorn.socket, then Gunicorn.service. Okay, nothing else we need to put. Okay, Control O, enter, Control X. Let's do this again. Okay, it holds the content we want. Okay, let's create a Gunicorn service. Gunicorn.service. And then copy the full content. Okay, I'll skip this. I was supposed to copy it one after the other, but during your own deployment, make sure that you read all these things. I've read them and I kind of understand what they're meant to do. Okay, I'll copy all this and I'll paste it right here. Okay, so we'll change some things here. You remember I created a user called Caliban. So I'll use Caliban here, working the home Caliban. I'll add the user here. Then I'll change this to the project directory, which is e-commerce backend, right? E-commerce backend. And I'll come down here. I'll copy this. Copy. I have the environment variable. Let me confirm. No. Let me confirm where I have the environment variable. Okay, it's in the base directory. So I will start this afresh. The reason I'm starting afresh is so that there's any mistake anywhere, I'll catch it. Call risky workers 3. EMV. So the reason I'm only leaving because the EMV folder is located in the Caliban. That's in the Caliban base folder, base directory. That's why I removed my project there. But on your own part, you might have your EMV file or the environment um, file inside your main project. Okay. Yeah, e-commerce backend. E-commerce backend. Alright. I think no, there's something else. There's something else I need to do here. I have that in my WhatsApp. Something more than gold. I have something more than gold. Okay, guys, I have the line I need, the code line I need to add here. Paste. What is to give Gunicorn my project directory. Django settings module. Yeah, I think I'm good to go. Mm, Control O to save and X to exit. Mm, Alright, let's run this. If we get an error, it means the configuration is having an issue. But if it runs, okay, to get a sim link. Let's see. Which means our configuration is right. Okay, so we'll move to the next stage. Let's confirm this. Let's confirm. Check for the existence of Gunicorn sock file uh, within the run directory. Okay, let's check. It is there. We're on the right track. If we run this, we're going to get no entry, no errors. So, step 9, testing socket activation. Uh, check the status of Gunicorn. I think yes, it's okay. It's okay. There is sockets. To test the socket activation mechanism, you can send the connection to the socket through call. Okay, let's run this. I did not receive HTML. I was supposed to receive an HTML file, but I did not. Failed. Let's inspect. Let's inspect the Gunicorn service. I want to move this code or whiskey application up on top of the env Django, that's just env Django settings module. Let's see if that is the problem. Go to save and X to exit. Oh, 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 oh. I just found out the problem. So let me show you what the problem was. What might be the problem? I know the service file again. So the problem was I didn't change the user here. I left it as the default Sammy. So but now I've changed it to Caliban and then moved the call or whiskey application below the Django setting modules. That's telling Gunicorn where to locate my settings. So let's do the call again. Okay, we receive the HTML just like they instructed here. If I should receive a HTML output from the application, the terminal, that indicates that the Gunicorn was started and was able to serve your Django application. Alright, let's run this command. Paste. Okay, let's check their results. We have the same thing, so it's running. Sudo u. This is to check if there's any problem. Clear the console. No entries, which means there is no error at the moment. Then we'll restart the Gunicorn server. System daemon reload. We use sudo systemctl daemon reload to restart the server. Sudo systemctl restart Gunicorn. Alright, now we'll move to configuring Nginx so that we can serve the application using the IP address of the server. That's the IP address that we have here. Okay, we'll still change it to a domain. I will show you guys all of that so that we can connect it from remote server. Okay. Okay, step 10 to configure Nginx to proxy past Gunicorn. You see, so I will copy this command sudo etc nginx site available slash my project. I will name this amare nginx. Okay, now the first content of the file should be this, but I will skip it. I recommend that you read everything here so that you will understand it in depth. Because me myself, I have done that. Okay, I'll copy all this, go to my server and paste it. Okay, here I'll copy the IP address just like I told you guys. I'll copy the IP address and paste it here. Okay, then we will change this to point to our project. Caliber and e-commerce backend. No, Caliber e-commerce backend slash static files. If you check here, you see the static files here. That is, I've done collect statics. Python manage to provide collect statics. That is why these static files here were created. So I'm telling this the engine where to locate my static files so that I can serve the static files. In case you want to use Django default admin, static files will be served. Alright, so that being said, let me save and exit. Mhm. Let's see. Copy the next command. We'll come here and change this to Amare. Amare Nginx. Test the Nginx. The settings has been done successfully. Okay, I'll restart Nginx. We'll delete this rule that we added and allow full ports so I can connect to any port at all. Settings updated. Okay, so that is we are done. We are done with the deployment. All right. So if there is any issue when we load the IP address, use the IP address to access the server. If there's any issue, then we'll troubleshoot that later. Let's check. Our project has been deployed successfully. Let me load one of the endpoints. Let me load one of the endpoints and show you guys that it is working. Buffer slash API slash version 1 slash count slash. You see, the endpoint is working perfectly. but I think the static files are not being saved. Let's cde commit backend. Yes, the static file should be saved. I don't know why it's not being saved, but the deployment is done completely right now. So the next step is to add our domain. All right, I'll pause the video and go and get my domain ready, and I'll get back to you.